Is that why your
What do
jaw
you
was
mean?
looked up
Whoa,
now?
whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean? What was Ambien J doing?
Ambien was like on the ball last night.
What ball?
Um,
What? You broke up with the audio.
So, thank you. What happened was, A and B and J got his snacks or whatever, totally normal, and then all of a sudden he became super productive. And he started emailing a bunch of different companies.
Mm.
And then I was helping him find new companies.
good
And
job.
we were looking up all these weird, obscure names. And you were like, Amazon. And then you were like, yeah, I could do this one. And then like you would message them. And I was like, wow, he's like really productive at 3 a.m. Like I didn't know this.
Oh, I think I'm very outside of the box on Ambien.
Oh yeah, you were just, and then you have a little macro set up for him to use. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
and let's not forget about how much. Let's also not forget about how much candy I consumed last night. And
Oh,
Jay,
you want?
I had no control.
also not factor in that I went to nuts.com and I did a $300 fucking order for cherry licorice. So we will not forget about that.
You know what's funny?
It's
We
always
do
nice
need
when you one up everybody
the
else.
salt and vinegar. Oh, we do have a need for salt and vinegar almonds. Somehow you ate all of them.
Yeah, and I got dark chocolate covered almonds. I've got dry roasted pistachios, 5 pounds. I got 5 pounds of salt.
5 pounds.
You're crazy.
So I'm saying you got to keep me away from a computer, but allow me to use my phone, and then we'll be good.
Oh.
Because I won't order 45 pounds of pistachios. Do you know how long it would take to make 45 pounds of pistachios? Think about it. You have to peel 45. Is there a machine that does it, or is it person?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably a machine.
Machine.
How? How would a machine know where each one of those cracks are? Maybe it just kind of light pressures it until they break, and then it filters it.
Or vibrates them or something, shakes them.
Vibration. I've seen it when they do it with vibration.
Really? And it opens the shell? What?
Jay, do you know how when you're eating pistachios,
Yeah.
how every once in a while one tastes weird?
Yeah. It's
That's
of the bugs.
because a worm died inside.
Yeah, it's because of bugs.
Oh my gosh, there's bugs inside of the nuts.
Yes.
I thought it was just like a weird,
No,
like
it's a
one
bug.
that grew a little crooked. But no, a bug made that pistachio its home. And then his home was taken from him. And he was along for the ride.
And he ended
then
up
we
inside of my
ate him.
belly.
What? There should be a little disclaimer. This bag may contain bugs.
End of the line for,
Well,
for
I think
bugs.
all food has bugs in it. Like,
Don't
Yeah.
you say that.
all food.
Oh yeah.
What kind of food?
Cheese, ham, cooked, uncooked. They
Whoa.
all got bugs on
Oh,
it. Oh, yes.
oh my
That's
gosh.
why they tell you to cook the fucking food, man.
Jay, did you know that mold on cheese is actually way more dangerous than it looks? By the time it gets to the outside, it's already infected inside. So you cutting off the mold does absolutely nothing. And if you cut through the mold to cut
You
the
gotta
mold
look up
off,
maggot cheese, bro.
you're spreading the mold all over the
Ah.
cheese.
You gotta look up the maggot cheese, brie.
Oh.
There's cheese where they actually let flies fly in it, and it's famous cheese, and there's fucking
Oh.
maggots in it. And when you cut the cheese open to eat it, there's still maggots in it.
I don't want it.
I would try.
I
It's
wanna try it.
banned in a lot of countries, bro. Like it is.
Oh,
Even
man.
in the country they make it, it's banned. You have to go to this
Yeah.
small dairy farmer. You can't
Yeah,
go
it's
to a
no
store
good.
and buy it.
Look, you
Yep.
can tell me how delicious it is, but if it's banned in like countries that need cheese, it's, like if you're banning this in all of Africa, they could use a wheel of cheese, man. So it's gotta be bad, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, it's dangerous to eat it.
Right, you can get poisoned and whatnot.
Nope.
And it's more of a tradition because I don't think it actually can be that tasty, can it?
It's probably creamy. It probably is good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
cheese-
It has buggies.
yeah, but that's what they
You're
kind of
telling
say.
me if
Because
I make 4 little crackers with that cheese on top,
I'd
you
eat
wouldn't.
I'd eat
Yeah.
it. What might concern me though is if I look at the cracker flips over and it starts walking across the counter. That's when I get the fuck out of here. Like I don't want that. Can we heat it up in the microwave? Just give it
But
5 seconds and then I'll eat it.
you are absolutely right because they say the bugs make the cheese more creamy.
Yep. Yep.
Because of the bug guts?
No,
No,
because the bug poops.
it's poop. The cheese is their poop.
Ew!
Yeah, so they eat the cheese, right? It's a hard wheel of cheese. Yeah, it's sheep milk. So they take sheep milk or lamb milk and they put it in a vat and they stir it, and then they harden it and they form it. So it's hard. Now there's no maggots in the cheese yet. Then they let flies, specific flies that they breed to lay eggs on the cheese. The eggs hatch, become maggots, eat the cheese. Then they stir it while the maggots are still eating it, stir it, form it into a wheel. Now it's a soft, like cream cheese block that's chilled. And when you cut it open, the fucking maggots are like crawling out of the cheese.
Is that how they make Swiss?
No, it's
No,
like
Swiss
small.
is a
It's not.
bacteria.
It's not the big maggots. It's like small, like grain of rice or smaller than
Oh
grain
yeah,
of rice.
we used to have those at my mom's house.
In the cheese?
No, just in the house.
Oh.
Good.
I would smush them.
You can't.
They would go.
In order for there to be maggots, there has to be dead skin or dead meat somewhere.
Oh yeah. She didn't take out the garbage very much, so they were on the floor, and if you pop them, they make a fun sound. They go when you squish them.
Well, everybody
Different
has
childhoods.
Anyone hungry?
That's all.
I'm getting
Just
hungry.
different childhoods.
yeah. Everybody has different ways of having
Yeah.
fun. I guess. I mean,
Yeah, I played with rocks. She plays with maggots. So to
Oh.
each their own.
nice. A
I
bunch
have
of maggots.
I have a topic today. It's probably going to be depressing. It probably is. That's okay, because I want it to be depressing.
Ooh.
I'm going to make
Ready
everybody
for
sad
it.
after the stream today. I'm going to spring a question on you. You guys know my life pretty well, right? We never talk about this. You know my life pretty well. You know the things that have happened in my life. Whatever. I'm not going to say they're too extreme. Good or bad. You know. Do you think that if social media did not exist, that my daughter would still be alive?
Maybe.
Jordan?
No. I'm going to side with that. Maybe. There's no
Bree?
100% guarantee in that.
Yes.
Why?
Well, because my thinking is that bullying when we all were kids was a localized thing. Like if you went to school, your bully was at school and you would only see them at X time and that's it. You would come home, cry, be upset, and my mom would be like, "Don't worry because those bullies can get you here. Like they're only at school. You only have X amount of years of school. Just deal with it." And like I got through it. But nowadays, kids have the bullies in the palm of their hand 24/7. So there's people telling you that you're worthless. There's people telling you that you're ugly. There's people telling you all these negative things and it's constantly in your face all of the time. So I feel like kids nowadays have a significantly harder time with bullies because you can't zone out a notification. You'll check it every time.
Well, I have to disagree, Brie, because I think online bullying is easier to ignore because you can just not look at the phone and be on Facebook.
Or remove the app.
No, like when I was a kid, Facebook was
Thank you,
starting
Mr.
to get like some traction, and we would use our actual accounts to be mean to each other. Like we didn't make no fake accounts. Like we used our actual accounts, and we were like, "Oh, you're a whore," or "Oh, blah blah blah." Like we would like kind of go back and forth, but it wasn't what it is now. Like back then, you would poke someone to annoy them.
I
Like,
can agree that maybe it's worse now. It's harsher, the bullying. They go further. They are meaner than before. But I don't know.
Kids today have it harder than they ever did when we were kids, right? We would have people that would, for me specifically, stick up for me in school and then beat up the kids that were bullying me. Like literally, I had a bully that was actually a friend of mine that lived down the street, but he would beat up other bullies. So I'm gonna have to side with Bree and what I'm about to show you. This was 4 hours long. I watched all of this from the start
it was
to the beginning.
thrilling.
Yeah, it's all the congressmen going after TikTok, Instagram, Meta. So Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, TikTok, and Discord. The only one that's not in there, which was interesting, and I just figured this out today, was Twitch. It was not in there, which is a social media platform which girls do stream to. But I guess Twitch doesn't apply. Now, Twitch has more live viewers than Facebook and Instagram or Meta than Discord, but obviously not TikTok. But this is interesting because I want to play this part for you, which is going to kind of answer the question I just asked you, just based off of numbers. So let me just play this. I'm not going to play the whole 4 hours. It's just one little blip I want you to play. I want to play. So let's go here. And this guy is absolutely nasty, bro. Like next level nasty.
Chairman. Mr. Zuckerberg, let me start with you. Did I hear you say in your opening statement that there's no link between mental health and social media use?
Senator, what I said is I think it's important to look at the science. I know it's people widely talk about this as if that is something that's already been proven. And I think that the bulk of the scientific evidence does not support that.
Well, really, let me just remind you of some of the science from your own company. Instagram studied the effect of your platform on teenagers. Let me just read you some quotes from the Wall Street Journal's report on this. Company researchers found that Instagram is harmful for a sizable percentage of teenagers, most notably teenage girls. Here's a quote from your own study. Quote, "We make body image issues worse for 1 in 3 teen girls." Here's another quote. Teens blamed Instagram, this is your study, for increases in the rate of anxiety and depression. This reaction was unprompted and consistent across all groups. That's your study.
Senator, we try to understand the feedback and how people feel about the services. We can improve.
Wait a minute, your own study says that you make life worse for 1 in 3 teenage girls. You increase
Senator,
anxiety and depression. That's what it says. And you're here testifying to us in public that there's no link. You've been doing this for years. For years, you've been coming in public and testifying under oath that there's absolutely no link. Your product is wonderful. The science is nascent, full speed ahead, while internally, you know full well your product is a disaster for teenagers.
Senator,
and yet you keep right on doing what you're doing. Right?
That's not true. That's not true.
Let me show you some other facts I know that you're familiar with. Wait a minute. That's not a question. That's not a question. Those are facts, Mr. Zuckerberg. That's not a question.
Those aren't facts.
Let me show you some more facts. Here's some information from a whistleblower who came before the Senate, testified under oath in public. He worked for you. He's a senior executive. Here's what he showed he found when he studied your products. So, for example, this is girls between the ages of 13 and 15 years old. 37% of them reported that they had been exposed to nudity on the platform unwanted in the last 7 days. 24% said that they had experienced unwanted sexual advances they'd been propositioned in the last 7 days. 17% said they had encountered self-harm content pushed at them in the last 7 days. Now, I know you're familiar with these stats because he sent you an email where he lined it all out. I mean, we've got a copy of it right here. My question is, who did you fire for this? Who got fired because of that?
Senator, we study all of this because it's important and we want to improve our services.
Well, you just told me a second ago that you studied it, that there was no linkage. Who did you fire?
I said you mischaracterized.
37% of teenage girls between 13 and 15 were exposed to unwanted nudity in a week on Instagram. You knew about it. Who did you fire?
Senator, this is why we're building all.
Who did you fire?
Tools. Senator, I don't think that's.
Who did you fire?
I'm not going to answer that.
Because you didn't fire anybody, right? You didn't take any
Senator,
significant
I don't think
action.
it's appropriate to talk about like
It's not
individual
appropriate.
HR decisions.
Do you know who's sitting behind you? You've got families from across the nation whose children are either severely harmed or gone, and you don't think it's appropriate to talk about steps that you took? The fact that you didn't fire a single person? Let me ask you this. Have you compensated any of the victims?
Sorry?
Have you compensated any of the victims? These girls, have you compensated them?
I don't believe so.
Why not? Don't you think they deserve some compensation for what your platform has done? Help
Senator,
with counseling services, help with dealing with the issues that your services caused?
Our job is to make sure that we build tools to help keep people safe.
Are you
across
going
our
to
platform.
compensate them?
Senator, our job and what we take seriously is making sure that we build industry-leading tools to find harmful
make
content,
money.
take it off the services,
To make money.
and to build tools that empower parents.
So you
that
didn't
help
take
work
any
with-
action. You didn't
That's
take
not
any
true,
action. You
Senator.
didn't fire anybody. You haven't
not true.
compensated a
That's
single
not-
victim.
that's
Let
not
me
what I
ask you
said.
this. Let me ask you this. There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now?
Well-
they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your product? Show them the pictures.
Oh.
Would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
He does it, though.
Oh, that's so sad.
Gone through. It's terrible. No one should have to go through the things that your families have suffered. And this is why we invest so much and are going to continue doing industry-leading efforts to make sure that no one has to go through the types of things that your families have had to suffer.
You know, why, Mr. Zuckerberg, why should your company not be sued for this? Why is it that you can claim, you hide behind a liability shield, you can't be held accountable? Shouldn't you be held accountable personally? Will you take personal responsibility?
Senator, I think I've already answered this. I mean, these
Well,
are
try
serious
this again.
issues.
Will you take personal responsibility?
Senator, I view my job and the job of our company as building the best tools that we can to keep our community safe.
Well, you're failing at
and
that.
Well, Senator, we're doing an industry-leading effort. We build AI tools
nonsense.
that...
Your product is killing people. Will you personally commit to compensating the victims? You're a billionaire. Will you commit to compensating the victims? Will you set up a compensation fund
Senator,
with your
I
money?
think these are
With your money.
complicated- Senator, these are complicated
Yes, no,
issues.
that's not a complicated question, though. That's a
Senator,
yes or no.
this is-
Will you set up a victims' compensation fund with your money, the money you made on these families sitting behind you? Yes or no?
Senator, I don't think that's my job is to
Sounds
make sure
like
that
a
we
no.
build good tools. My
Sounds
job
like a
is
no.
to make sure that
Your job is to be responsible for what your company has done. You've made billions of dollars on the people sitting behind them. Are you here? You've done nothing to help them. You've done nothing to compensate them. You've done nothing to put it right. You could do so here today, and you should. You should, Mr. Zuckerberg. Before my time expires, Mr. Chu, let me just ask you, your platform, why should your platform not be banned in the United States of America? You are owned by a Chinese communist company or a company based in China. The editor-in-chief of your parent company is a Communist Party secretary. Your company has been surveilling Americans for years. According to leaked audio from more than 80 internal TikTok meetings, China-based employees of your company have repeatedly accessed non-public data of United States citizens. Your company has tracked journalists improperly gaining access to their IP addresses, user data, in an attempt to identify whether they're writing negative stories about you. Why should, your platform is basically an espionage arm for the Chinese Communist Party. Why should you not be banned in the United States of America?
Senator, I disagree with your characterization. Many of what you have said, we have explained in a lot of detail. TikTok is used by 170 million Americans.
I know,
who
and every
create
single
love.
one of those Americans are in danger from the fact that you track their keystrokes, you track their app usage, you track their location data, and we know that all of that information can be accessed by Chinese employees who are subject to the dictates of the Chinese Communist Party. Why should you not be banned in this country?
Senator, that is not accurate. A lot of what you describe we collect, we don't.
It is 100% accurate. Do you deny that repeatedly Americans' data has been accessed by ByteDance employees in China?
We built a project that cost us billions of dollars to stop that, and we have made a lot of progress.
And it hasn't been stopped. According to the Wall Street Journal report from just yesterday, even now, ByteDance workers, without going through official channels, have access to the private information of American citizens. I'm quoting from the article, private information of American citizens, including their birth date, their IP address, and more. That's now.
Senator, as we know, the media doesn't always get it right. What we have.
But the Chinese Communist Party does?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that we've spent billions of dollars to build this project. It's rigorous, it's robust, it's unprecedented, and I'm proud of the work that the 2,000 employees are doing to protect the data.
But it's not protected. That's the problem, Mr. Chu. It's not protected at all. It's subject to Communist Chinese Party inspection and review. Your app, unlike anybody else sitting here, and heaven knows I've got problems with everybody here, but your app, unlike any of those, is subject to the control and inspection of a foreign hostile government that has actively trying to track the information of whereabouts of every American that they get their hands on. Your app ought to be banned in the United States of America for the security of this country. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I suggest anybody that has not watched that video, there is way better stuff on there. Well, I don't know about better, but I will put the link in chat. It's a doozy, man. It's a doozy, but that's the link.
Yeah, and that Mr. Chu guy, he was the CEO of like a Chinese nationalist party thing. They bought 1% of ByteDance. The next day, now he's the CEO of TikTok.
Oh,
Who is Ted Cruz?
The Chow guy.
Yeah, the Chow, and he said it was that was a Ted Cruz talking to him.
Yes, yeah. The guy was like, "Isn't that a little odd that you became the CEO the next day after the Communist Party bought in?" He was like, "No coincidence."
He's like, "Yeah, coincidence, my ass."
Yep.
But okay, so using that, right? Just what he said in the beginning, that they are aware. It seems like the Congress of America, those are senators, but it seems like they always bring children into it. Vaping, they always bring children into it. Drinking, they always bring children into it. But kids today are more likely to be suicidal than what they were when we were kids. When is the last time when you were a kid going through school that one of your friends or your colleagues, if you will, took their own life?
None.
No.
Jordan? Right. So
Nope.
out of the four of us, we all went to four different schools, and we spent, well, let's just say 17 years in school.
Yeah.
We don't ever remember a kid disappearing because of suicidal tendencies. Right?
No.
We know that movies idolize it. They all put it in there. At some point, they have to put suicide in there.
So what that means, is it on us for letting the kids access that stuff? Or is it because I look at it as if you do not know how to use a knife and you use a knife anyway, you cut yourself. You're not supposed to go after the knife maker, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's quite the same. If you know that your app, there's another part in that where Ted Cruz is talking to him, and essentially they show a result where if you search for something and then it pops up and said that you may be searching for child sexual abuse, and then it says learn more and then see results anyway. And Ted Results says, well, why do you even have that link? Can you tell me how many people click that link? Now, in Facebook's defense, I've searched things before, and I thought that I was searching something that I wasn't. So I had to see results anyway. But, that could, with due diligence, you could figure out what types of people are online and what they're really searching for. Did they do it just once like I did, or did they do it 50 times?
Yeah, that's what he asked.
Yeah, I recommend anybody to watch the full video. I get it, it's long, but it is good, man. And after that, I deleted TikTok. I 100% uninstalled TikTok just based off of mere factual information alone. And I think that the argument you have is if you touch fire, okay, don't touch fire. You don't need to watch a thing on it. Could you blame the parents for allowing the kids to go on social media? Yes, 100%. I will also say, though, that social media could be doing a whole lot more than what they're doing than allowing kids to be exposed to these sexual offenders, to these suicidal tendencies. Not glorifying a girl that's a cutter and having her show her body. Filter that out. Make it where you can't be 13 years old. You have to show your identification. It is that simple. You must be verified to go onto the platform. It is that.
You must have a driver's license.
You have to have a driver's license. That means no 15, 16, 17. There's none of that online. No, sorry. You have to be an adult here. That's it.
So verified. Yeah,
That's
you have to be verified.
You don't like it? Well, then, but the thing is that they do hide underneath the shield, like Mr. Harley was saying, that they do hide underneath a shield that they are protected because they're not submitting any information. It's people submitting it. Right, but you're allowing it to be on your platform. That's the problem, is you allow it to be, we have bots, we have this. Okay, but you're failing. Because all those people you saw behind them holding up pictures were kids that took their own lives. Isn't one too many?
Yes.
And if there's one, you should do everything to make sure there isn't a second one. Or a third one.
There's a class action lawsuit based off of how many people have took their own lives on social media. There's a class action lawsuit against Facebook.
There's that many people. For it to be class action, it needs to be widespread, and it needs to be a significant amount of people affected by exactly the same thing. So that
but
means...
they find each other or like-minded people on the platform, or how do I?
So a lawyer would search for every person that's been on there, every person that's been memorialized, and then reach out to that said email, and then reach out to those families and say, it looks like one of your family members had passed away and they were young. And then you have all these people. I think that Facebook and Meta do need to provide what the congressman is saying, whether it's compensation money-wise, or if it is guidance counseling, some type of counseling where you get connected. Like if you type something in and your phone and it says, would you like, suicide awareness, or here's a help phone number or something, that should be an option. That if you have something like that where it pops up, where you do, for whatever reason, have to show a cutter on your thing, put a big ass banner over it that you have to click it 50 times to get it gone so you can see the video, so you get the point.
Blur it.
I don't think you should blur it. I think you should drill it in their head. By the time they're done clicking okay, the video's over.
Yeah.
You could do that. That's not a hard script to write.
It goes back to the wokeness and glorifying that stuff, right?
I think it goes back to freedom. It has nothing to do with wokeness.
Too much of it.
I think if social media did not exist, Air would 100% still be alive today. 100%.
I think so too, because she told you that they were messaging her, doing comments on her posts and all that stuff. We didn't really hear anything about what happened during the school day. It was on her phone, the problems were.
Yeah.
So it wasn't physical, not person to person.
It was only online.
Yeah, then it would be a yes.
Yeah, but even if it wasn't a yes, all of her leading up to, so it was her boyfriend and then 3 other people, right? So regardless, the social media is intertwined in that, right? There were posts about her on her Twitter, right? And a video of her on TikTok. So while some of it could be linked directly to people that are close, some of it cannot be. And once you factor in social media, you play a part in that. You're now a part of that. Whether or not you want to be is irrelevant. You are part of that. Those messages were exchanged on your platform. Those are not filtered. Yeah.
No.
It's like if you try to do a post on Facebook now, right? If you go do like a crazy post where you say this person's a fucking piece of shit, it won't let you do it. Try it. Try to open up Facebook and say this person and not even say a name. Just where you're referencing a subject and calling it a piece of shit, it won't let you do it. it's going to say, this goes against community standards. Are you sure you want to post this? Yes, post anyway. Right. So you could do that with messages as well. You can do it. You just elect not to, because it's not your problem.
Yeah, and then having to be verified would also, like you said, help a
Now
lot.
you're held accountable.
Yeah.
Now Facebook could say, listen, we did everything we could do. This is this person right here. Here you go. This is the person.
Yeah, and anonymity also out of the window. It's not like you can be J dash Devil Boy.
No,
20,
not when you got a driver's
2022.
license attached to that shit.
No.
Nope.
Your
That's
name.
you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so
Facebook
throughout
and all
that
them-
long,
I'm sorry. Let me say one thing, Brady. Facebook and all of them want you to pay to be verified. No, it should be mandatory. Go ahead, Brady.
throughout that video, the part that disgusted me the most was like when he was justifying why children should be on the app. Like, it made me feel dirty. Like, he said,
that's with Ted Cruz.
yeah,
Do you
he
want me
was
to play
like,
that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I like it legitimately bothered me. Like, I actually took the app off my phone. Like, it was kind of eye-opening to hear about what social media is and does without having the attachment of looking at it. You know, just hearing about it. If we heard all this stuff before we ever downloaded social media, I don't think we would have. Like, the stuff that we're agreeing to is nuts. Absolutely crazy. We're agreeing to give them an immense amount of information, and that they're okay to sell it.
Social media is a very powerful tool, but we're here because every parent I know, and I think every parent in America, is terrified about the garbage that is directed at our kids. I have 2 teenagers at home, and the phones they have are portals to predators, to viciousness, to bullying, to self-harm. And each of your companies could do a lot more to prevent it. Mr. Zuckerberg, in June of 2023, the Wall Street Journal reported that Instagram's recommendation systems were actively connecting pedophiles to accounts that were advertising the sale of child sexual abuse material. In many cases, those accounts appeared to be run by underage children themselves, often using code words and emojis to advertise illicit material. In other cases, the accounts included indicia that the victim was being sex trafficked. Now, I know that Instagram has a team that works to prevent the abuse and exploitation of children online. But what was particularly concerning about the Wall Street Journal expose was the degree to which Instagram's own algorithm was promoting the discoverability of victims for pedophiles seeking child abuse material. In other words, this material wasn't just living on the dark corners of Instagram. Instagram was helping pedophiles find it by promoting graphic hashtags, including hashtag pedwhore and hashtag preteen sex, to potential buyers. Instagram also displayed the following warning screen to individuals who were searching for child abuse material. These results may contain images of child sexual abuse. And then you gave users 2 choices: get resources or see results anyway. Mr. Zuckerberg, what the hell were you thinking?
All right, Senator. The basic science behind that is that when people are searching for something that is problematic, it's often helpful to, rather than just blocking it, to help direct them towards something that that could be helpful for getting them to get help.
In what, I understand get resources. In what sane universe is there a link for see results anyway?
Well, because we might be wrong. We try to trigger this warning, or we tried to, when we think that there's any chance that the results
Okay, you might be
harmful.
wrong. Let me ask you, how many times was this warning screen displayed?
I don't know, but the
Hey, you don't know. Why don't you know?
I don't know the answer to that off the top of my head. But
Well, you know what, Mr. Zuckerberg? It's interesting you say you don't know it off the top of your head, because I asked it in June of 2023 in an oversight letter, and your company refused to answer. Will you commit right now to within 5 days answering this question for this committee?
we'll follow up on that.
Is that a yes? Not a will follow up. I know how lawyers write statements saying we're not going to answer. Will you tell us how many times this warning screen was displayed? Yes or no?
Senator, I'll personally look into it. I'm not sure if we have.
Okay, so you're refusing to answer that. Let me ask you this. How many times did an Instagram user who got this warning,
This one.
that you're seeing images of child sexual abuse, how many times did that user click on see results anyway? I want to see that.
Let me pause it.
Senator, I'm not.
And that information right there that he just asked is so easy to get. Like that analytic code is just, you have that. You 100% have that. Okay, I'll just let it go. Sorry.
Not sure if we stored that, but I'll personally look into this and we'll follow up after.
And what follow-up did Instagram do when you have a potential pedophile clicking on, I'd like to see child porn? What did you do next when that happened?
Senator, I think that an important piece of context here is that any context that we think is child sexual
Mr. Zuckerberg,
abuse,
that's called a question. What did you do next when someone clicked, you may be getting child sexual abuse images, and they click, see results anyway? What was your next step? You said you might be wrong. Did anyone examine, was it in fact child sexual abuse material? Did anyone report that user? Did anyone go and try to protect that child? What did you do next?
Senator, we take down anything that we think is sexual abuse material on the service, and we do.
Did anyone
report
verify whether it was in fact child sexual abuse material?
Senator, I don't know if every single search result we're following up on, but
Did you report the people who wanted it?
Senator, do you want me to answer your
Yeah,
question?
I want you to answer the question I'm asking. Did you report
time to
the
speak, then.
people who click see results anyway?
That's probably one of the factors that we use in reporting. And in general, I mean, we've reported more
This
people
answer
and
is
done more
good.
reports like this to NCMEC, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children, than any other company in the industry. We proactively go out of our way across our services to do this and have made, I think it's more than 26 million reports, which is more than the whole rest of the industry combined. So,
Mr.
I think that
Zuckerberg,
an
Mr.
allegation
Zuckerberg,
that we
your
that we don't take
company
this
and every
seriously-
social media company needs to do much more to protect children. All right, Mr. Chu, in the next couple of minutes I have, I want to turn to you. Are you familiar with China's 2017 national intelligence law, which states, quote, all organizations and citizens shall support, assist, and cooperate with national intelligence efforts in accordance with the law and shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of?
Yes, I'm familiar with this.
TikTok is owned by ByteDance. Is ByteDance subject to the law?
For the Chinese businesses that ByteDance owns, yes, it will be subject to this, but TikTok is not available in mainland China. And Senator, as we talked about in your office, we built Project Texas to put this out of reach.
So ByteDance is subject to the law. Now, under this law, which says shall protect national intelligence work secrets they are aware of, it compels people subject to the law to lie, to protect those secrets. Is that correct?
I cannot comment on that. What I said again is that we have
Because
moved
you
it
have
out
to
of reach
protect those
this.
secrets?
No, Senator, TikTok is not available in mainland China. We have moved the data into an American
But
cloud
TikTok
infrastructure.
is controlled by ByteDance, which is subject to this law. Now, you said earlier, and I wrote this down, we have not been asked for any data by the Chinese government, and we have never provided it. I'm going to tell you, and I told this when you and I met last week in my office, I do not believe you. And I'll tell you, the American people don't either. If you look at what is on TikTok in China, you are promoting to kids science and math videos, educational videos, and you limit the amount of time kids can be on TikTok. In the United States, you are promoting to kids self-harm videos and anti-Israel propaganda. Why is there such a dramatic difference?
Senator, that is just not accurate. There's
not a difference between what kids see in China and what kids see here?
Senator, TikTok is not available in China. It's a separate experience there. What I'm saying is...
But you have a company that is essentially the same, except it promotes beneficial materials instead of harmful materials.
That is not true. We have a lot of science and math content here on TikTok. There's so much of it. I created a STEM feed for 100 billion views.
Let me point to this, Mr. Chu. There was a report recently that compared hashtags on Instagram to hashtags on TikTok, and what trended, and the differences were striking. So, for something like hashtag Taylor Swift or hashtag Trump, researchers found roughly 2 Instagram posts for every 1 on TikTok. That's not a dramatic difference. That difference jumps to 8 to 1 for the hashtag Uyghur. And it jumps to 30 to 1 for the hashtag Tibet. And it jumps to 57 to 1 to the hashtag Tiananmen Square. And it jumps to 174 to 1 for the hashtag Hong Kong protest. Why is it that on Instagram, people can put up a hashtag Hong Kong protest 174 times compared to TikTok? What censorship is TikTok doing at the request of the Chinese government?
None. Senator, that analysis is flawed. The analysis is flawed. It's been debunked by other external sources like the Cato Institute. Fundamentally, a few things happen here. Not all videos carry hashtags. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you cannot selectively choose a few words within a certain time
period. Why the difference between Taylor Swift and Tiananmen Square? What happened in Tiananmen Square?
Senator, there was a massive protest during that time. But what I'm trying to say is our users can freely come and post this content.
Why would there be no difference on Taylor Swift, or a minimal difference, and a massive difference on Tiananmen Square or Hong Kong?
Senator, could you wrap up, please?
Senator, our algorithm does not suppress any content simply based on
this.
To
answer that question, why is there a difference?
Like I said, I think this analysis is flawed. You're selectively choosing some words over some periods. We haven't been around as long as other apps.
There is an obvious difference. 174 to 1 for Hong Kong compared to Taylor Swift is dramatic.
Senator Blumenauer.
I don't know, man. That's good. I could watch that whole 4 hours all over again. I think it's so fascinating.
It is so interesting to
That's
listen to.
That's Republicans, man. When you watch Republicans go after something, they go hard. Like, you watch the Democrats throwing this, they're like, yeah, what about this? What about Republicans? Are like, you're not answering my fucking question, bro. Like, they just go hard, man. Go ahead.
So
Yeah, so the part that I was referring to was about why children should be on the app. And the reason came from Mark Zuckerberg. He said that because they want to be content creators, and this gives them an outlet. Why do we want kids to be content creators?
I should have showed that part.
Like,
yeah, that's another one, yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if that's your only reasoning. Yes, if that's your only reasoning that children should be allowed on there, that's a little odd.
And then why not make an app specifically for that then?
Yes, but like when I was a kid, we didn't wear makeup. But now you have 8-year-olds wearing full-on makeup, spending $400 at Sephora. How do they even know what that is? I didn't even know what mascara was. I just thought everyone didn't have eyebrows and eyelashes. And then, like, nowadays, kids are doing insane makeup routines. Like, they're going to middle school and waking up at 5 a.m. to do their makeup and hair so they could post to get ready with me. Like, what is happening? That's not right. You should be playing hopscotch and tic-tac-toe, not TikTok.
Kids should be kids and not trying to be adults before their age.
Yes. It's crazy. They're destroying their skin, number one. And it's just such a contrast to the way that we all grew up to how they're growing up.
What's your opinion on this, Jordan? I haven't heard anything from you.
Yeah.
Because you said you don't necessarily agree. So I want to hear your counter to this.
Yeah, because, well, I look at you guys as like the pinnacle of freedom. And I do not agree with the entire thing. Something has caused this, so we have to ban it altogether. You either alter it, make it better, or
but they're not willing to alter it. But they're not willing to alter it.
Yeah, but that's also because I feel like if it was me being a senator, a company is not in place to protect its users. Same for a car manufacturer, same for a brewery that sells all that alcohol. If you want to alter it, that's what we do over here. Then you should put the government in place and have it separated from the platform.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, hold on. What you have to understand is, yes, we have all this freedom, yeah? These laws that they're going to, the Section 930C1, right, I think is what it is. That essentially gives media, and when I'm saying media, I'm referencing people with cameras, okay, like media. And social media falls in this bracket. Loosely, but they fall in it. It essentially allows them the freedom to do whatever. Now, the government could say, well, we're going to do this, we're going to make this law. But then they still fall into that weird section. So now you have to make a second, an amendment, if you will, to that. The problem with that is it's easy to add amendments to laws. It's very rarely, if at all, you'd be hard-pressed to find any law that was removed. They'll always add amendments to it, like the Second Amendment. They're going to add amendments to that of what you can have, like machine guns or whatever. So the government can't. The government can try to say, hey, you're banned. You got to go. We fall underneath that bracket. We're not applicable. So the government can't do anything. They're trying to get the people, which they have clearly, and the nation to understand how toxic, if you will, these platforms are. We're not talking about for adults. We're not talking about adults. We're talking about kids that are going on there, shaking their ass, showing their tits, cutting themselves. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, and I'm talking about there should be a separate body for that to get the perfect results. Because now you're kind of hoping that the platform does its thing because they make most amount of money, but you don't get the transparency. The monitoring should be from a third party, preferably the government that does the monitoring, not the platform itself. They have the numbers and they haven't done it.
Now your taxes go up because the government has to now make a whole new entity to take care of something that platform should be doing to begin with.
Safety costs money.
So now I have to pay more because some fucking clown doesn't... No, you punish a company. You're saying that they don't go after the manufacturers. Hold on, Jordan. You said earlier, I knew this is going to be a debate. You said earlier that you shouldn't hold the manufacturer responsible or a brewer responsible. You said that, right?
In the case of misuse, in this case, yeah, I agree.
You're saying that
because we don't
hold them responsible.
If the user misuses the product, yes.
But they're not misusing the product.
It's not intended to share that stuff. That's not the original idea
showing
for
off
it.
Their tits and their
that
asses.
Wasn't the original plan for it.
Doesn't matter. It's not taken down, so it's clearly allowed.
No. Yeah, but same for alcohol. It's not intended for you to drink 25 of them, but you're allowed.
Right, but the alcohol does have a governing body, which is 21 years old. There is no governing body for social media because it's media. Anybody can pick up a camera and go record. You can't. You're removing your First Amendment.
You can't have the other. I mean, you have to choose. You have to choose one thing. The reason why I said it needs to be government owned, it needs to be government controlled, especially the monitoring, because you already see it. If you leave it to the company, they're going to obscure the numbers or they give you some promo talk. They're not going to do anything. So
you don't think if
the
you
other
let
option,
the government control it, that they're going to sway whatever's in office, Republican or Democrat? You don't think that? Come on.
Well, then the only solution is to ban it all.
But that's what they want to do, is ban it all.
Go for it. Do it. I have no problems with that.
They can't, though. Maybe TikTok, they might get away with it, but Facebook, there's no way. It's just not going to happen. There's no way.
And then it goes back to the accountability of the people themselves. because
See,
we're
but
always looking for someone else to put the blame on. Just put all this parental control on there. They can't even install the app on their phone.
what I
Well,
don't
the
get out
only app.
of go, Brie.
Oh, there is an app that has done this, and it's YouTube. There's YouTube Kids. You can't comment on stuff. You can only watch other content that's made for kids. While they can still download the normal YouTube, there is a separated account for them. That totally, like, it doesn't let you comment, oh, she's such a cutie. You know, you can't comment stuff like that. You can't comment at all. And they can't make any money off of monetization, which has severely decreased the amount of child content on that application in the first place. Because parents were making money, so they were fine exploiting their kids and all this stuff. But now that there's no money to be made, the content has gone down.
Go ahead, Matthew. What did you want to say?
So what I don't get, that clip you showed, what I don't get out of it is if a bot triggers that warning, you might be looking at content that is not any good. They know, right?
Absolutely.
The bot triggers on that. Why is there not a team or whatever that obscures those results and has a person check them out personally? Because
Well, I mean, that's what Cruz was
it
saying.
triggers.
Why is there not someone that is manually checking each one of those people?
It's not like they don't know it is there, because otherwise the bot wouldn't trigger. So that's something that doesn't compute for me.
You know, I've always taken, even with Air's death, I take it into, I could have been a better father, right? I could have been a better parent. But if the argument is that it falls on the parents, the people that say that don't have children.
There is other argument to be made as well, which, playing the other side, they go outside and you have no control, or to a friend or whatever, you have no control what they're
parents
doing.
didn't want us to do shit. We knew the repercussions. We get our face
Oh, we
planted
still
into a
did.
wall. But guess what?
Yeah.
You still did it. And you don't
Yeah.
think that kids are gonna not film on their friend's TikTok? Absolutely they will.
Yeah, what about your niece? She had a secret TikTok in a secret
Facebook.
folder of her secret you had to click a bunch of different stuff to get to the app at all. And then you had to use your face to let you in it. Like, I don't even know how she did that, but she had an account before she was allowed to. I think we should just not give them phones.
No, but a lot of kids just lie about their age, and that's what you get if you don't have official verification of who you are. Because the notification that you get, oh, you're supposed to be 16 or whatever, or 12 or 16 or older, they just go back and they scroll they scroll up with the birth date. Oh, now it's okay, and there's nobody checking that.
Same thing for porn. Are you 18? Yes. Done.
I think it's funny that with vaping, you know, I don't want to change subjects, but with vaping, all these sites had you must be 21 and enter, 21 and enter. Do you know how many porn sites you could go to and that's not on there? Okay, that is more regulated than vaping ever will be. So yeah, anyway. But I don't know if removing the phone is the option, right? Because you're fixing part of the problem, but not the root of the problem. It's like you have weeds in your yard, so you just cut the top of them off so you don't see them, but the root is still there. You have to kill the root. So as much as you may remove the phone, the root of the problem is still there.
So, but then you'd have to fortify the kids and make them aware and make them strong enough to counter it, or not to go into that. And that's where the other problem starts, because we're all handing out participation trophies and medals, and everything is good, everything is fine, and everything. That's the opposite of what should be happening.
The only thing I could say that would fix all this is hold Facebook more accountable and give them fines. Give them fines like maybe this is why Apple never got into social media, because they don't want any part of the shit.
Yeah,
We don't want
go
any more
like
of this. Oh, we're good.
for
We'll keep
every
selling our
piece of
phones over
content.
price.
You could even use the public for that, right? For every piece of content you can find on there that's not child friendly or is abusive or whatever, you report it, you get money. Willing to bet there's a lot of people searching the entire Facebook on stuff.
Yeah, that would. People like money,
Like
even if
get
it's
a
a
like
penny.
a quarter for every one you report or something, or whatever, 5
Yeah,
cents.
Like
or
what Waze
just-
used
you
to
just-
do.
This, you're
Yo,
gonna
all
have
the time
people
you spend
creating
pooping.
accounts to post stuff so you can report them. Then that's
Yeah, but you know what? If all the people that be shitting on their phone, just be sitting there shitting on the phone, you can make 25 cents while you're pooping. Just be
Yeah.
looking through Facebook.
yeah, it's true.
I mean it still goes down to it still should be on Facebook. And I want to make this clear to anybody watching this, maybe for the first time. I am not biased because of air. I am not. I'm just saying that there has to be accountability. If no one is taking accountability for it, then you're saying there's not a problem. But then how do you explain all the deaths? And I get it, you could have that one rarity. And I just think that the companies themselves, TikTok needs to go away. I really like their CEO. I like the way he presents himself. I like the way he talks. I like him a lot. I just don't like the app. I deleted it after watching that yesterday. Not because I'm scared of my information. It's just, it really falls into China. But I'm not going to get into that. I am full supporting of American made. So I don't know. That's my opinion on the whole thing.
Do
And
you
there's
think
also
there are?
a bigger problem, all of it. The biggest problem that nobody wants to talk about really is why are we so dependent on it? Like you said, you removed TikTok. I've never been on there. Why do we have the need for 6, 7 social media
people have
platforms?
too much time. They have too much time, Joe.
Yep.
That's it. You're depressed.
They want to be
why
noticed.
You're depressed? You know why you're depressed? It's got nothing to do with TikTok. It's got nothing to do with Facebook or any of that shit, right? It's got to do with you don't know what to do with your time, so you go to that, right? Yeah. You could go outside and go ride a bicycle. Shit, go ride one of them dirt bikes that are illegal. Go do some shit that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, go be a fucking kid. But today's kid is online, and that's something we have to accept. That's not going to stop. That's just going to get worse.
And the insatiable need to be noticed. I think that's one of the biggest ones. Yeah, to matter on some level.
Do you blame them, though? When the world becomes more popular, more people are in it, the less it is for you to notice somebody. So now that we have social media, which is a bigger platform, it gives you a bigger stage for you to perform on. Do you blame them? How else do you get noticed?
If you want that, I just can't relate to that, probably. So that's the disconnect I
got found on social media. I can give you 1,000 names, or I couldn't give you 1,000. I give you 10 names. So it can be a useful tool. It's just you have to be
resilient.
Do you think though there are cases where social media has stopped somebody from harming themselves by supporting that person? So, because we're only talking about the negative side of it, where it causes it, but do you think there is room or there are cases where it's the other way around, where they go on social media, find support, and end up not hurting themselves?
That's a good point. So the video would air, right? 500,000 views. Okay. That video, so I could see algorithm of each video. That video used to be recommended to people that were looking at doing something to themselves and causing harm. That video hasn't gained more than 1,000 views in the past 3 years. Why? Why would you stop promoting that? That's showing you the result of you doing something negative and what the impact it has on the parents. I'm not saying that to promote me. I'm saying to save a life. See the result of what happens with your parents when you do it. Why'd you stop promoting that? That's not promoting self-harm. That's
preventing it.
Because you're seeing a side that you're not even thinking about.
Why would you stop that? If anything, promote this shit. Cut it. Make ads out of it. Show it. Absolutely. I'll be a fucking poster child for someone that went through the shit. If it saves someone's life, yes, of course, use it. But you don't want to. You want to hide that. You want to hide it all, but then you want to promote the one that's actually got fucking cuts all over her face, her arms.
So yours would then be not used or branded a bad thing, but then the other ones where there's actual bad things going on or glorification of those things, they're okay.
Make that the ad before you see it. Unclickable. You have to watch this.
That's it.
Yep.
Because we know your search results, right? They know that we're watching Amazon from Facebook.
Yep.
So I don't have a problem with that. I just want to be clear. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that cherry licorice. So I don't have an issue with that. But if it's someone that is searching that and they see that and you're cashing your cookies, right? Fine. Here's a video for you to watch. You can't get past any other video until you watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, them saying that they can't censor things like that, you can't find, Jay brought this up, and I thought this was fascinating. You can't find anything on the internet for how to make drugs.
Try to find online right now how to make crystal meth. Good luck.
You won't find a video. You won't find a post. You won't find any information. So them saying that they can't cut out the child stuff, they definitely can.
Remember when you used to search for Hillary Clinton and Google filtered all those damn results so you couldn't post anything negative? There was no recommendations. It was just a great president, a good thing. You can do this. You can.
Yes, they just choose.
Why did they have YouTube up there?
I think because YouTube actually has taken steps.
Yeah, because YouTube wasn't up there either. YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah, and YouTube is really quick to demonetize you. YouTube
them.
has a separate thing. Like,
good on them.
Twitch, though, is
TikTok is the worst. If you were to tell me, pick the worst platform, TikTok. It's the worst.
Most toxic. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Bro,
and
you banned me for talking about some dude eating a fucking apple, but then you have some chick that is showing a vagina with a lamp.
Yeah. No, that's not the problem. Some guy
one of the keywords.
Some guy waxing
none of the keywords.
Apple. F-I-P.
Well, I guess so. Close enough.
Oh, this is sexual nudity, but then there's a guy sticking his ass up to the camera and using some cream to get the hairs off of it. Okay. Under the guise of what is it? It's educational.
Mm-hmm.
I say ban TikTok, get rid of it, and I say put more. I don't know, make a new law. You can't though because they bring in so many jobs, so much money.
Well, if you think about it, what is the point? We as users, we gain absolutely nothing. We do not make money from these things. They take our time away, and it makes us feel like we need things that we currently do not have. It is such a downgrade. Every time you go on that app, you are wasting your life for nothing. After you're scrolling for hours, think about, what did I gain from this? Except once for things that I currently don't have, things that cost more money than I have to spend, and other people pretending to have more fun than me. It does nothing except for make you feel less of you, feel less like you're worthless. You matter not at all.
And I want to follow up with that. And the thing that you have nothing to gain, but you have everything to lose. You're losing time. Time is invaluable. Everybody always wants more time. You don't think Steve Jobs wanted to live another year? Absolutely. But yet you're so willing to open up that app and blow away 2 hours searching for something that you could be doing something more productive.
Nope.
Time. The one currency we can't rebuy.
Yeah, Jay's great at math. 2 hours a day, the whole year. What is that? 700 hours?
Oh, it's not bad. It's not right, but sure.
And that's only 2 hours. I know that none of us only spend 2 hours on the internet. It's more like 5 to 7 hours a day.
So there are people out there that
Well,
That's why
Jordan
Jordan
is a
doesn't have a
freak.
lot to say here because
Fortnite.
Jordan doesn't use these
Fortnite.
platforms.
Yeah, yeah. I do not see. Well, that kind of depends. Do you still count YouTube as one? Because there is a social aspect to it. I do spend a lot of time on.
I
there.
think you're going to learn more from YouTube than you will any of the other platforms. Right. They're, no matter what you're watching, you're going to learn something. If you go on TikTok, that is useless knowledge, except for that's what her vagina looks like behind a lamp. That is not useful knowledge.
Unless they post the lumen. Like, what kind of lamp is that?
6,000. Great shadow effects.
Like at half power, at full power, at a quarter of power, it gives this amount of light. Yeah, that's
But
it.
I do agree with the regulations, all of it. I do believe in the next, let's say, 10 years, we've got to start looking at why the population needs it that much. Because that's, if you decrease the demand for it, then there's no supply. That's how you solve it. That's how you solve drugs. That's how you solve alcohol.
Yeah, but they created it. And they created our want for it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then they just multiplied it by a billion.
And then taking
You
into
as the
account
user can
that
step back from.
the current population doesn't do things in person anymore. They do not seek out personal person-to-person relationships. It's all on that stuff. It's not what
Yeah,
we
and
used to
they
do
said
again.
that 37% of kids or whatever felt depression and anxiety and all this other stuff. And I think that it's interesting that they only brought it up in the fact of children because, like, adults feel that too. Like, I feel that too. It's not seeing things that you can't have or not getting follows. It's more like you can infinitely scroll. You could scroll forever. You don't know when to stop. You can't really stop. Like, once you start, how many shorts do you go through before you close out the app? 60?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, next one. Oh, next one. Oh,
yes.
this looks fun. Next one.
Yes, that's what gives me anxiety. It's because there's no end. I just keep going, and I'm like retarded, so I can't stop. And it's just it makes me so unhappy. Like, it really, really does. And it's not about not getting a like or not getting a follow and all that other nonsense. It's just there is no end. Like, if you go on Apple News, there is an end. If you scroll down to the bottom, it's like that's all the news for today. But on the social media, you can scroll the rest of your life. Like, there's enough posts and enough users to never stop scrolling.
There is another thing to that, though, Brie. Like you said, adults feel the same as the children, but as an adult, I think you can kind of know or reason, like even on Facebook or whatever, people are putting the lives they want on there.
Yeah.
Obscured view of reality.
This vacation is great.
But that's
They're
what
taking
people
pictures
buy, though.
somewhere
But
else.
that's what people buy, though, Matthew. It's not. It's
Yeah, but I'm saying as an adult, you can kind of, or you're supposed to kind of be able to grasp that. I think as children, they do not grasp the fact that people present the life they would like other people to see and be envious of. It's not reality, their life. You're not gonna go, oh, something bad happened to me, and the dishwasher broke, and the guy from the repair service didn't show up. I mean, you're not gonna do the ugly, gray, nasty things. You're gonna promote the life. Oh, I've been on this yacht, and I've done
but then
this,
again,
and I've done.
don't you think that's also a sign of, I don't know, if I see people posting in a bunch of pictures, like a bunch of pictures of their vacation, and they're still on vacation, I feel pity for them.
Yeah, your vacation must
Yeah,
be
you're
so
on
bad that
vacation
you have to
and
take
you're
your phone and
not
take
having
pictures
a
of.
good enough time to enjoy
That's
the
accurate.
moment itself.
That's accurate.
That's
Exactly.
sad. That's sad. You're with your family and friends out there, and you couldn't go a minute without social media. Have to show everyone that I'm here.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
You kind of explained me though at Wildwood.
That's different.
But that's you are doing it more out of a business and people that follow you. That's different.
Yeah, your job.
Different.
Like,
Yeah.
like
If
I
you go
didn't post
2
anything.
weeks
Jordan
without-
didn't post anything. I don't think anybody posted anything. You know, because we were actually having fun.
Right.
Yep.
And then you have the people like I had some colleagues like that. Oh, nearly time. Leaving home. Oh, arriving at the airport. Went through customs. At the lounge. Oh,
Well, that's
about-
what. Hold
about-
on.
about
In
the
all
board.
fairness, that's what Twitter was originally designed for. Was little statuses. Like that's why it was so little characters. Leaving work, left home.
Dude.
Like nobody gives a shit, bro. Like
Had peanuts on the plane. Had to go pee on the plane. Got off the plane. Hailed the cab. Oh, bloody.
Nice.
Stop. It's even
think
dumb
about
to
it.
do because if you do that, what do you think thieves
Yeah, that's true.
or
But
I
burglars
wonder
do
that for
more?
my neighbors. They
What's the
post
first
their
thing they
house.
check?
Yeah, they post pictures of their house and they're like, we got to go back to New York for 3 months. And I'm like, how are you guys not expecting to get
Dumbass.
robbed when you literally post where you live? Like,
actually promoting to the burglar, like, yeah,
We are-
we're gonna
we
be
are not
gone.
here.
We're in Spain for
We are-
14
Yes.
days, so if you want to.
Yes. Oh my gosh, they also
or
post,
even
like,
better,
oh,
like
we're
my
in
alarm
Orlando.
system.
It's like,
They
okay,
do a-
perfect. I could go over.
They have a status. This is our alarm went down for the past 8 days. We don't know when we're gonna get it fixed. Okay.
Good.
Had to bring all my firearms in for repair. Okay. Well, anything else?
Please leave the spare key under the rock alone. It's for emergencies only. There you go.
Look at this new fake rock we got for our key. Here's the affiliate link.
And in the background, you see their address, the number of their house. Nice.
Yes.
Good for
Nice.
you. Good for you.
Yeah, when Facebook first came out, we would like kind of bully each other, but not really, like playfully. If you had a friend on your friends list that was not really your friend, you should only have your real friends on there. So if you went to your friend's account and they had 400 friends, you would call them fake and phony and a poser. Because there's no way that you know 400 people. If you had like 20 people, you were like, ooh, they're really cool. They know 20 people at this school. Like, that's awesome. Like, it was a big deal. If you had too many friends, people didn't talk to you because I thought you were weird.
MySpace. It was the same shit on MySpace.
But-
Same
Right?
shit.
Yeah, you only
Again,
had
that-
actual friends or people that you actually knew.
But isn't that again the same thing? Like, you should make the distinction. I mean, most of the people I have in my friends list I know are just acquaintances or somebody I don't even know. I don't
Yeah, or
count them
someone
as
random.
friends. Yeah.
I have so many friends on there. I have no idea who any of them are.
But that's the thing is the kids today value those as real friends because that's the only world that they know, right? They don't
Yep.
know
Yeah.
the world outside. Well,
Yeah.
we've all seen kids playing outside. They still exist.
Yeah, 1 in 8.
No, I don't know about that.
It's going up.
But that is kind of a badge of honor now, right? Like you said. Oh, I have X amount of followers. How many have you? Oh, you only have that amount.
Yeah, what happened
better
on
than you.
Omegle when you said how many followers you had?
Oh God.
Hmm.
Oh God. Yeah. What's your YouTube? Because they value that as you are.
How much you are worth as a person is how many
That's
subscribers you
accurate.
have.
Yeah.
But
And then they would see
Or-
how
or
many
it could
numbers
be
he has
stardom,
and be
though.
like,
It
"Oh
could-
my god, you're so cool."
it could be celebrity status though. You don't know that. Versus if you told somebody, I don't have a YouTube, but I got 50. Well, you can't have 50,000, but 50,000 friends on Facebook, right? Someone wouldn't give a shit about that. You got a YouTube. Oh wow, this might be my break, and that
Mhm.
I think anybody would react to that. Anybody would. But that's the world that they live in, so that's all that they know is how many likes do they have, how many friends do they have. You just got to be able to separate the business and the pleasure. Good luck with that.
That's a whole other standard.
Yeah,
Not a good
luck
one.
with that one. I've been doing that shit for 10 years. Not fun.
It's a bad thing when you value yourself or your peers or others with that
Agree.
instead of,
Wait, but how is that different than real life?
I'm guilty.
because in real life you can value yourself and friends. Like, if I need help getting rid of something that I screwed up, who do I call?
Where were you
Who
going?
do I call?
Yeah,
You're not going
right?
to call one of those 2,000 people on your Facebook
Let's
account,
backtrack
right?
for a second,
No.
Patty. Are you asking me to come to Belgium because you have to hide something? Is that what you're asking?
No, not yet. But
Okay.
you're on speed dial actually.
I
for
got
that,
you.
Okay, good.
so-
All right. I just
Bring it back.
Well, the for what Jordan said, what's the difference between back then and now is back then it was only this many people that you were competing with for attention. Janice was the best runner. She was the fastest runner in the entire school. That's all you knew. Now you know the fastest runner in the world. So now your accomplishments are nothing. Your
Oh, no,
accomplishments
that-
mean nothing because there's always someone better than you. You're never good enough.
Oh yeah, no. I was going more. I don't see the difference between the online part of that and the real part of that, real life part of that, because we do that with everything. We look at social standards, we look at financial background, we judge people like that in real life as well. You don't.
Yeah, but you
can
judge
see it by the
people
car,
off
the
of
house.
how they look.
Yep.
So if I didn't have a lot of money growing up at all, but my mom made us look decent when we left the house and no one knew anything. You know, like we would wear nice clothes on Sundays and all that other stuff and just seem normal. But you didn't know that at home there was like no food. You know,
Yep.
so nowadays people are just they're like skewing reality. Like I could have no pants on right now. I look like I am dressed nicely today. I could be totally nude from the waist down. It's all fake.
And
My boobs are
and
fake.
knowing
My
you,
pants are
it's
fake.
probably true.
I could see that. I could kind of understand.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah, but that goes by from what you can currently see for what's
Yeah.
actually.
There's also another issue, of course, because as humanity, or most of humanity, we kind of abuse or misuse the internet, right? You've been given this gift of information sharing. You can look up the pieces of art, literature, science, history, whatever. What do?
Okay, but
Kittens.
we've relied so much on this for so long. You can't just take it away, right? You can't.
No, but I'm saying overall we're misusing it. Porn
If
and
we were
kittens.
all charged for it, would we all still use it?
Ooh,
No.
a lot less.
It was
Oh, I
$20
see.
a month to keep your account.
No.
Man, you get rid of a lot of trolls, man. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yep,
Oh,
your
for-
account, you can still have an account, but it's totally private unless you pay money to put it out there.
That
And we're gonna
sounds exactly like
backtrack.
my job. I have to spend money to make products and hope that people watch. So they would all have to do what I do, just not make money off of it.
So can we do it like for the trolls? We're gonna backtrack, and if you have 10 accounts, we're gonna deduct 10 times 20 from you.
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, you only have one account. I'm telling you,
Delete,
just you
delete.
want to fix this? It's really simple. Make everybody verify. That's it.
Like PayPal. Try to make a second PayPal account after you've been banned. Good luck.
That is the devil to me.
Good
PayPal.
luck.
Yeah.
I had to have a different last name, a different bank account, and a different address
Oh,
in order to make a new account.
And can they implement that with the current laws in place? Like remove anonymity on everything online, which would solve it overnight.
Kind of gets rid of freedom, though. I mean, at least in America, that's the whole freedom thing. But that does not apply for a private company. That only applies towards the government. So.
Yeah, but at some point, something has got to give, right?
Yeah. If you want the safety, you're gonna give a piece of that freedom away. There's no.
They need to make it where it's 18 and up. 18 and up and verified somehow. You can scan driver's licenses. Do you guys have that in Belgium where you go to a website and they need to verify you and you have to scan a passport or show a picture of your passport with you?
Not often, but we do.
But you've seen it, though. That's what I'm saying. There's a way to do it online. Yeah, well, we could do that in the States, too. Implement that.
Well, now we have an app that's kind of used a lot for that. It's Me. So it is a verified account on the app, and you can use that to log into government certain other sites.
Verify Me or ID.gov. Yeah, we have that. We have that.
So usually you don't have to do the scan the passport and stuff. Facebook does it over here as well. If your account is locked for some reason and you want to unlock it, you have to prove that it's you. You have to a recent ID or something.
Or you know what? Do it even better. Leave it the way that it is. Let it all be open. That's fine. It's fine. But in order to watch on TikTok, it'd be tough because you can only watch half a video, and then you have to create an account. Sort of like how they make you create an account now, but you have to create an account and you have to show your ID. Facebook, in order to post anything, you have to create an account, verify.
Even Indeed, you have to make an account.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just make it where you have to make an account and it has to be verified. If you want to browse YouTube and finance, you're going to get plastered with ads. And that's all. Yeah. You
Still fixable.
I don't think the Congress is as riveting as that was, and that happened yesterday. As riveting as that was, I ain't going to do shit. Not a damn thing.
No.
Nothing. Government's trying to get involved for the people, by the people, but
it's not surprising that they showed the video on YouTube because they were the only ones beside that weren't in that room. I don't think you're gonna find the same video.
Google, like the biggest search engine in the world, was not there. That's I don't know. Maybe they're doing something.
They're probably bringing the most amount of money.
Can you find that video on one of the platforms that they destroyed on there? No, probably not.
No, the copyright.
One of the things in the video, when Mark Zuckerberg, he was asked a question that was really funnily worded. What is Facebook for, aside for seeing what someone you went to high school with had for dinner last night?
Oh, that's the good one though. I was trying to find that.
Yeah, maybe do the subtitle thingy and search for dinners or the word hobbies.
Well, what is it for? Almost the same, but kind of different. Not to see what they had for dinner, but how much worse they are off than you. Yeah. Worse off they are than you. Gotcha. So it's nice to see the belle of the ball, and she's now married with 7 kids, and she looks like a fatty. And
this is it. This is what.
This guy.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's my favorite.
He's fantastic, Kennedy.
Does your user agreement still suck?
I'm not sure how to answer that, Senator.
Can you still hide a dead body and all that legalese where nobody can find it?
Senator Kennedy.
Thank you all for being here. Mr. Spiegel, I see you hiding down there. What does yada, yada, yada mean?
I'm not familiar with the term, Senator.
Really?
Very uncool. Can we agree that what you do, not what you say, what you do is what you believe, and everything else is just cottage cheese?
Yes, Senator.
You agree with that? Speak up. Don't be shy. I've listened to you today. I've heard a lot of yada, yada, yadaing. And I've heard you talk about the reforms you've made, and I appreciate them. And I've heard you talk about the reforms you're going to make. But I don't think you're going to solve the problem. I think Congress is going to have to help you. I think the reforms you're talking about to some extent are going to be like putting paint on rotten wood. And I'm not sure you're going to support this legislation. I'm not. The fact is that you and some of your internet colleagues who are not here are no longer, you're not companies, you're countries. You're very, very powerful. And you and some of your colleagues who are not here have blocked everything we have tried to do in terms of reasonable regulation. Everything from privacy to child exploitation. And in fact, we have a new definition of recession. A recession is when, we know we're in a recession when Google has to lay off 25 members of Congress. That's what we're down to. We're also down to this fact that your platforms are hurting children. I'm not saying they're not doing some good things, but they're hurting children. And I know how to count votes, and if this bill comes to the floor of the United States Senate, it will pass. What we're going to have to do, and I say this with all the respect I can muster, is convince my good friend Senator Schumer to go to Amazon, buy a spine online, and bring this bill to the Senate floor. And the House will then pass it. Now, that's one person's opinion. I may be wrong, but I doubt it. Mr. Zuckerberg, let me ask you a couple of questions. I might wax a little philosophical here. I have to hand it to you. You have convinced over 2 billion people to give up all of their personal information, every bit of it, in exchange for getting to see what their high school friends had for dinner Saturday night. That's pretty much your business model, isn't it?
It's not how I would characterize it. And we give people the ability to connect with the people they care about and to engage with the topics that they care about.
And you take this information, this abundance of personal information, and then you develop algorithms to punch people's hot buttons.
Listen to this.
And send and steer to them information that punches their hot buttons again and again and again to keep them coming back and to keep them staying longer. And as a result, your users see only one side of an issue. And so, to some extent, your platform has become a killing field for the truth, hasn't it?
I mean, Senator, I disagree with that characterization. We build ranking and recommendations because people have a lot of friends and a lot of interests, and they want to make sure that they see the content that's relevant to them. We're trying to make a product that's useful to people and make our services as helpful as possible for people to connect with the people they care about and the interests they care about.
But you don't show them both sides. You don't give them balanced information. You just keep punching their hot buttons, punching their hot buttons. You don't show them balanced information so people can discern the truth for themselves. And you rev them up so much that so often your platform and others becomes just cesspools of snark. where nobody learns anything, don't they?
Well, Senator, I disagree with that. I think people can engage in the things that they're interested in and learn quite a bit about those. We have done a handful of different experiments and things in the past around news and trying to show content on a diverse set of perspectives. I think that there's more that needs to be explored there, but I don't think that we can solve that by ourselves. One of the things that I saw.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Mr. President, but I'm going to run out of time. Do you think your users really understand what they're giving to you, all of their personal information, and how you process it and how you monetize it? Do you think people really understand?
Senator, I think people understand the basic terms. I mean, I think that there's. I actually think that a lot of people overestimate how much information there is.
It's been a couple of years since we talked about this. Does your user agreement still suck?
I'm not sure how to answer that, Senator.
Can you still hide a dead body and all that legalese where nobody can find it?
Senator, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, but I think people get the basic deal of using these services. It's a free service. You're using it to connect with the people you care about. If you share something with people, other people will be able to see your information. It's inherently, if you're putting something out there to be shared publicly or with a private set of people, it's, you're inherently putting it out there. So I think people get that basic part of how the service
Mr. Zuckerberg, you're in the foothills of creepy. You track people who aren't even Facebook users. You track your own people, your own users who are your product, even when they're not on Facebook. I'm going to land this plane pretty quickly, Mr. Chairman. I mean, it's creepy. And I understand you make a lot of money doing it, but I just wonder if our technology is greater than our humanity. I mean, let me ask you this final question. Instagram is harmful to young people, isn't it?
Senator, I disagree with that. That's not what the research shows on balance. That doesn't mean that individual people don't have issues and that there aren't things that we need to do to help provide the right tools for people. But across all of the research that we've done internally, I mean, the survey that the senator previously cited, there are 12 or 15 different categories of harm that we asked teens if they felt that Instagram made it worse or better. And across all of them, except for the one that Senator Hawley cited, more people said that using Instagram made the different issues that they face,
Mr. Zuckerberg,
either positive or.
We just have to agree to disagree. If you believe that Instagram, I'm not saying it's intentional, but if you agree that if you think that Instagram is not hurting millions of our young people, particularly young teens, particularly young women, you shouldn't be driving. It is.
Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Social media is.
I saw that one.
Hearing a person describe why someone should use social media makes me disgusted.
Mm.
Like, hearing him try to justify why it should still exist makes me not want to use it at all.
And he has got a good point with the user's agreement, right? When is the last time you went onto the site and you read the entire thing before clicking OK?
They make it so long on purpose.
Yeah, you would give up. It's like, no, I'm not going through this. I'm not going to read all of this. It'll be okay. Okay.
True. On the other hand, I think it's common knowledge for anyone. Doesn't need to be extremely smart to figure out what you share is on the internet forever.
That's not what people think, though.
No, I do.
Because I'm saving your shit to their thing just in case if they ever need it as some type of ammunition. Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks of that though.
I do.
That's why you say,
especially nowadays.
That's why you
nowadays. They're going to go back 15 years. You said this on the Tuesday. It was raining outside. We know.
But
Yeah,
it's not
it's
the only one, the only one that does it, right? If you upload something to
no.
YouTube, it belongs to them as well. No?
Social media is gross. When they explain it, like connecting people with similar interests and they're able to talk about topics that they care about. Like hearing it that way just makes me think that it's dirty.
And if you look up things that bash, let's say politics, bash the left side 3 times, they're not gonna show you on balance like, oh, but this is them bashing the right side. I mean,
It's fascinating too because when you look at this bill that they're trying to pass for essentially banning it and restricting it, it's bipartisan. It's not just when the Democrats talk about the very calm and whatever.
Passive.
It's both sides. So it's not just Republicans, not just Democrats. It's across the board, bro. You're in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's enough data to show that there's more harm than good.
have to buy him a spine on Amazon.
I want to see if there's no way to measure that. Not yet. The difference between being exposed at it at a later date, like let's say you're already in your teens, or getting exposed to it from the get-go. You're a kid, you're already on there. Because we kind of grew up
have
without
thicker skin. You'd have thicker skin growing up.
Yeah.
You'd have that would be a positive thing. You might also be numb to people, which is a negative thing. But you'd have thicker skin.
Maybe that's why all the kids dress the same. Is because they see it on social media.
Yeah.
Like the kids
because we went to
Wildwood, that shit was weird, man.
All of them were wearing like exactly the same outfit, which was weird.
Or is it because the fear exists that if you stand out, you're gonna be ridiculed?
I think it's because they get it from social media. A couple of them do it, and then they just copy. They're so used to copying that stuff off of social media, they just copy what those couple are doing.
That's a good point. That's a good point because that's how fashion is, right? Look at Crocs. Okay, everybody knows what Crocs are. If it wasn't for the internet, would they be famous?
No,
because
they were for nurses.
Especially now, like all these goofy people wearing fucking socks and Crocs, weird socks. Well, you're wearing these. If that was not on the internet, think about fashion growing up, right? We got that because we saw him. He was a cool kid, so now we got to get the same stuff. So people look at those people online, say, oh, wow, that's cool. Everybody's got those goofy Mickey Mouse boots. Let's all get those because that one person got it. So it's interesting that the internet sets the fashion like our real world did. So
yeah.
But it's always been
that's
like
the real part, because most people I actually talk to in real life are like, Crocs, ew, yet it sells off the shelf.
It sells
so who's
because
buying
the
it?
people, they all see everybody wearing it. Like online with the goofy, oh God.
But
most people are inherently stupid.
And that's kind of been always the same thing, right? Because, but the only difference is like in our days, oh, that sounds old. In our days, it was like a movie star wore something in a movie, or a famous rock artist or pop artist or whatever. He was sporting this kind of bracelet, or he was doing this or wearing this T-shirt. That's how we got influenced.
Yeah, or like 17 magazine. What's in Britney Spears' purse?
Yep.
It's this type of lip gloss
Yep.
and this type of that.
Yep.
And you were like, ooh.
Yep.
But
Yep.
now you're being confronted with so many things to purchase in order to matter.
Look at the thing, Brie. Look at the thing with the pink water bottle. Nobody wanted those things. They made them pink, and everybody wanted those
One
things.
person went viral with it, and then the sales went up. So I wonder if companies, well, obviously online companies are doing better now than any brick and mortar. That's accurate. It just all comes down to social media.
But the question is, like Bree said, she has one. I wonder, and that's the main thing, because you brought up the Crocs, how many people now buy it just to buy it, to belong, instead of having their own opinion, like I really want it.
I would say
yes.
I would say
Yeah, but that's a problem. That's I mean,
the internet
that's a
sets
huge
the
problem.
trend. Well, I mean, it's
Yes.
Question,
And
Bree,
the
are you
problem
still
is
using it?
that the reusable water bottle is meant to be reused. But since they are constantly coming out with new colors and new styles, it's actually leading to more waste than it was when we were just using plastic water bottles. Because now we have stainless steel tumblers that are going into landfills because it's last season's color.
Oh,
But you
no.
use water bottles a
Serious?
lot. We all know that, okay? But are you still using the pink one?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, because I only have one. I
Well,
never
in
sought
this
out
case
to
for
buy
me,
another.
you're a very active person. You sport and you use it.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
If
I
you
use water
wouldn't
bottles
use,
a lot.
yeah, if it would be really strange if you never use a water bottle, that you have 20 of them just because the internet told you.
That's what's happening
That's
now.
what normal
that-
people
yeah.
do.
That's okay.
For example,
That's-
Vaughn's wife Tia had multiple different ones, and they matched her outfits.
Well, if she uses them, that means she uses them, right? She takes them with them because they match
Yeah, but
her
what
outfit.
happens when she gets a blue outfit? She's gonna buy a blue one.
You buy a new one. That, of course.
That's the genius about the whole thing. If you can market it that way, that's just genius. Because you're
Yeah, but it would
creating
only work
a
on females,
a
right?
want or a need where there isn't any.
Yeah, I don't think it works for dudes. I don't think it works for dudes.
I don't know, man. You know how many knives dudes buy because it's a different color? Ooh, this one's Cerakoted. This one has a different handle. This one's super sharp. This one can fit in your
I don't know.
pocket.
See, I'm looking at it from a content creator side. That's nothing but good for me. That means that if a company only feels that they could be successful by having someone do a video on it or try to make it where it goes trending, that's only going to help me in the long run. Because that just means more companies want more exposure. And if they don't have to pay Google ads for it, they can pay someone to do a review, whether that's just the product itself, you win. But for a consumer side, it sucks. It's like, because there might be great shit out there that you don't know about. There might be a better cup than that Stanley Water Cup, but you don't know because you don't go to water cup store.
Yes, this is the best water bottle ever. And they stopped making it in favor of making ones that look exactly like the Stanley Cup.
Of course.
They don't make simple plastic bottles anymore. They make ridiculous metal weird stuff. And it's like their best stuff is their old plastic stuff. It's so weird.
And it holds back innovation as well, because if everyone is following what the leader is doing, nobody's gonna step out of line. And what can we do with this bottle? What can we improve?
Too much risk involved, right? We don't know if this will catch on or be, and that's where you get those ones that are like influencers and they try to make, we have this new one and it just doesn't take off because it's not the same.
Yeah. And now relate that back to the girls we saw on the boardwalk with the outfit.
Yeah.
Why take the risk? This outfit is working. Let's all pick the same one.
No originality. None.
Yeah.
None.
Out of fear of failing.
Again, it is smart business as well, right?
It's very smart business. Very smart
if you
business.
see a product that's selling and you have a product and that's not selling, your next product is going to be more like the one that's selling, because you're not unless you're a doofus, you're going to want to sell your product.
Yeah, but it's a weird thing. Like, if that's true, that so many people are now, if you want to collect 20 of them and you're an avid user of that water bottle, go ahead, buy every color in the rainbow, go for it. But you're now just buying it because someone else is buying it and you don't even use it.
Trends.
That's troublesome. That's troublesome.
You want to make a gazillion dollars? Find a way to predict what the next big thing is going to be.
Oh yeah. But that's always been the case, right? With Christmas presents, the new toy.
Thank you, Combat. That's interesting to see a donation towards the end.
Well, yeah, that water bottle thing that I brought up. So there are 2-piece water bottles. There's a base and there's a lid. This company is called Awala, and they have all different types of color schemes. A trend now is to go to the store, pick out which lid you want, pick out which bottom you want, and put them together. The one that's now mismatched gets thrown in the dumpster.
Oh.
Because it
Why
does
do we,
not match the
wait,
SKU.
why do we allow you to go to the cash register?
You're not
with
supposed
not
to.
matching?
You're not supposed to be able to.
But they're just doing it anyway.
But people are just doing it so that way they have the color combo that they want.
Jump on that. Jump on that. Make it like a Build-A-Bear, but for water bottles. You can modify everything in that on that bottle. Jump on it. Make a little store. Yep.
Yeah, but that's too much overhead.
Yeah, because
Well,
I'm
man,
gonna
people
end up
like
with
that
you,
people
forty
won't
brown
buy.
lids.
You got the green lids that nobody wants.
Exactly. That's why people are switching them, because everybody wants this stupid like light brown and beige and olive. Obviously, it's not that popular if everyone is taking that lid off. Like if everyone's like, I don't want this, let me put on this one. Obviously, it's not as popular as I think it is.
Mhm.
The water bottle market is very competitive. Like,
Cutthroat.
It is so crazy. What happened to liking colors? When did it become cool to like boring neutrals?
Oh,
Drab?
I can kind
it's
of see
skin
why
tones.
that is. Like you pointed it out. I don't know when you pointed it out, Brie, but some community, I'm not gonna point fingers, kind of assigned themselves a rainbow, and now you can't use it without making a political statement.
That is so true, because I love rainbow. I love bright neon colors. I like it because it stimulates my eyeballs and it makes me smile.
Mhm.
I had rainbow on my nails, and someone said that they were happy that I supported LGBTQ. And I'm like, girl, I just like Lisa Frank. Like there's a difference. Like I just like pretty colors because they are attractive to me. It doesn't mean that I'm gay.
And the
I don't
weird
eat
thing about
pussy.
that is, if you now use a rainbow, you get. They say that you're appropriating it. No, you're not.
Shut
It
up.
was something
I'd
else
punch him in
long
the
before
face.
you guys appropriated it.
I had
And
lava
now
lamps that were bright colors before you were born. Sit down. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is true. A bright color now, it's all them. If I buy a bright pink one, okay, I'm gonna be in that bracket. There's 99% chance another person sees me, like, yeah, he sucks dick. That's just
oh, you're so brave, buying that
yes.
pink water
Buying
bottle.
a bottle? I've been
And
recycling for 10 years. I'm always been brave.
so glad.
He's
Support the cause. I mean,
It's just you can't escape from it.
so is Rainbow Pony the same thing now, or no?
My Little Pony?
Yeah, that was the rainbow stuff as well, right?
Oh man, I don't even think they're out anymore, are they? My Little Pony? No.
I don't even know what's popular anymore.
They were LGBTQ avant la lettre. Ha!
Yeah.
For everybody else.
But it's the same thing. But then when comes it down to our perspective, because it's now skewed because of that community kind of owns it. Like over here, not that far away, at a school, they were doing the crossing in a rainbow color. Naturally, you would go, oh, that's cool for the kids. But now associated with that group, is it a political statement or is it just a fun rainbow for kids? I do not know.
That is a good point, because if they painted rainbows on like the sidewalks when you were kids, you'd be like, "Oh, it's a rainbow." Nowadays, it's like if you walk on that, you stand with the gay people, and it's like, what?
Yep. I'm gonna get hit by a car because I have no choice.
I wonder if that'll ever go away.
The association?
With how much they are messing with that stupid flag, it's gonna go away. The rainbow used to be this big. Now it's about this big.
Yeah, and it has
Like,
brown and black in it.
Yeah, brown,
Right?
black.
Brown
Like,
and
they
black.
just
And
put every single color.
Yeah.
Indian thing on it, the tribal for men, women, and unity.
What are
Like,
you
who does
doing?
it? You're just making
that
everything but straight on that flag. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That community has a disposable income. They have to buy a flag every 48 hours. It's already ruined. They changed the concept. We have to buy a new one.
Of course, we have to. There is an addendum to those crosswalks that they're doing. The LGBTQ, the rainbow colors. They've
But
been
you don't know.
overpainted at night.
yeah.
People tend to overpaint them
It's hilarious.
back into white, so they've had to paint them like 3-4 times already.
Wait, so they're doing?
but isn't
You're
it
saying they're
sad?
doing rainbow crosswalks?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. To say
Where?
that your town stand everywhere, hon.
Even
Everywhere.
in the States?
Yes.
Oh, haven't you seen the video where the horses wouldn't cross it?
God.
Yeah, because something
Horses
with the
don't
colors.
like gays.
Yeah, for some reason. So it was an entire rainbow thing, LGBTQ thing, and there was a police on horseback, 2 of them, and the horses would not cross that colored walkway. They wouldn't.
I've never seen these rainbow crosswalks. Never.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, they're
yeah.
everywhere.
Uh,
So the horses with the rainbow crosswalks are like dogs that have never seen black people.
Nope. Not doing this. What is it?